So Steve, what would your advice be to a company who's looking to release assets?
Good question. I think number one is change the perception of what those assets mean to you. So if you're treating them as waste, as a byproduct of doing business, they're sat in a cupboard that nobody cares about them, that type of perception will often lead to the treatment of those devices downstream to perhaps lead to problems further on. If you view them still as being in their mid part of their life cycle, that's really important because you treat things while they're still useful to you in a different way. So number one is change perception. Number two is engage with companies who really know this sector, not as a subset of other services they offer, but as a specialist. And the reason I'm saying that is that even the way that you designate infrastructure can have an impact on how it should be treated downstream. So if you're treating it as waste and it's designated as waste, there's a whole bunch of assessments that need to take place due to persistent organic pollutants. So that can be really complicated. Again, it's why how you treat and how you designate equipment before you even release is really, really important. The third bit, I guess, of importance is to engage in the opportunity. So we talked about destruction previously versus reuse. We talked also about, if it's just about financial gain, there could be donations. So the Digital Poverty Alliance is a charity that we've worked with. I know there are lots of other charities around who try and get retired infrastructure into the hands of those who don't have it. So there's an awful lot of philanthropy that you can do associated with retired assets. So don't just treat it as it's a forgotten piece of hardware that we once used. It's still got opportunities to do some good. Balance sheet, do some good for some others, and the environment by extending its life cycle. Now, all of this sounds really good, and you say, yes, that we're going to donate and do all of this, but that does increase risk if you're not careful. So you need to understand that this is not just about an upside of benefit, there could also be a downside of increased risk. And this is where we, again, like to think that certification can really help, because companies like S2S have gone through the mill to get certified by ADISA, and to maintain certification comes at not just a cost of finance, but actually, in fact, a cost of doing business, the touch points that you have. It does increase the cost of you transacting your business on behalf of your customers, but that's a benefit to them because that maintains data security and compliance as per the ICO GDPR certification scheme. So it decreases their risk, which is good for the customer. So I would definitely say use a certified company, but using certified products for sanitisation is really important as well. Lots of organisations specify a product or even an approval scheme within their contracts. Be very careful. So CPA, which is the UK government product approval, so the Commercial Products Assurance, run out of NCSC, has ceased. So in September 2013, the final product will lapse. So if you've got that written into a contract, your contract cannot actually be delivered upon. So again, what advice would I give? I would advise organisations to see this business process as something which it is, which is a huge opportunity to do some good to your balance sheet, to the environment, not to increase risk. You can do that by using a certified company, and you do that by getting them to use certified products. But this approach can't be done flippantly. You're going to have to engage in it. You're going to have to reach out to your partners like S2S who do this day in, day out. You live and breathe this. The nerd within me lives and breathes this as well, so we understand the detail. I appreciate that people releasing assets don't have the time, the bandwidth, even the motivation or energy to do this, but that's why using a professional organisation to help you will benefit.